Hello everyone who is interested in growing figs. Today I want to talk about my experience growing organic figs without the use of pesticides. Figs are wonderful fruit, tasty and very healthy. They can be eaten fresh, made into excellent jams, dried and stored. Many people love and want to consume organic figs. These are people who care about healthy eating. They are vegetarians and vegans. They are just those people who want to treat their children or grandchildren to figs that don't contain pesticides residues. This is a very understandable and correct desire. But how real is it? After all, figs grow in regions with a hot climate, with mild winters and very long warm season. There are a huge number of insects that can damage fig trees, and under these conditions, harmful insects can give several generations and multiply rapidly. For example, let's look at an insect glue trap that hung for 2 weeks in open area between my fig bushes. Both sides of it are densely covered with a layer of insects, small and large, among which there are pests. The number of them is simply huge. Is it possible to save fig crops from them without insecticides? Yes, there is such a way. I use special synthetic nets against insects. They provide several benefits: insect protection without pesticides, protection from birds and animals that feast on figs, hail protection. Properly selected nets are transparent enough to provide good sunlight and ventilation. During the season, my figs actively grow under protection, form figs well, and these figs ripen successfully. Nets are easy to use when figs are grown on a espalier in the form of a horizontal cordon. But nets can also be used to protect single trees. The industry produces nets with different mesh size. Very small cells, better safe from insects, but worsen lighting and ventilation. Therefore, you need to choose a mesh taking into account those insects that are especially harmful to your figs. In my garden, the most dangerous pest is the Mediterranean fruit fly. Its size is from 3.5 to 5 millimeters, and a net with a maximum cell size is suitable for it, providing a good balance between cell size and sunlight and air penetration. I'm using a net labeled 17 mesh. What does it mean? If we put a ruler with inch divisions on the mesh, we will see 17 cells per inch of the surface. Precisely, there are 17 transverse threads per inch. For example, in a net labeled 50 mesh, there will be 50 threads per inch, and the cell will be much smaller. If we want to sew the edges of the mesh or connect several pieces of the mesh, then we do not need a needle and thread for this. It's enough to have an ordinary stationary stapler. It's much faster and easy. If you want to get the most durable connection, the staples should be placed closer to each other. Such connection is quite reliable even in windy weather. Mesh is a wonderful material. It is light, durable, easy to cut with scissors, and lasts for several years. But I will remind you again about the balance between cell size and plant shading. The 17 mesh shaded the plants slightly. The 50 mesh shaded the plants much more. Decreased ventilation is also undesirable, as the risk of fungal diseases increases because we do not use fungicide either. So, I use a size 17 mesh with the largest cell. Such mesh transmits light well and provides ventilation, saves from my main enemy, the Mediterranean fruit fly. But small insect pests can penetrate through this mesh. In addition, insects can also be born from eggs or pupas left in the soil under the net from last year. Sometimes an insect flies under the net accidentally during watering or weeding. How to be with them? For added protection, I use insect glue traps. Manufacturers produce traps in two colors, yellow and blue. I use yellow traps. They are very attractive to insects. Each package contains dense yellow sheets coated on both sides with special glue and protected with special paper. They are supplied with thin soft wires for hanging traps. These traps are very easy to use. I hang the trap to a spalier or fig branch. Then I remove the cover paper from one side and then from other side. Made. The trap is ready to go. I usually hang 2 or 3 traps on one bush. After 10 or 14 days, depending on the number of stuck insects, the traps should be replaced with new ones. Are traps really necessary, or is one net enough for full protection? Let's move on to another espalier where the traps were hung 1 week ago. It looks like there are insects stuck. Raise the net and inspect the traps carefully. Yes, a significant amount of small and large insects fell into the trap in a week. The same is true for neighboring traps. This means that in order to effectively protect organic figs, we must use both tools, both a mesh and glue traps. That's all, thanks for watching, subscribe to my channel, and together we will watch growth and ripening of wonderful Israeli figs.